In this episode, I interview Teresa Bauer, changemaker and remote work coach for individuals and companies. And I'm so glad to have you here, Teresa. Hello and welcome to the Successful, Sensitive and Intuitive Entrepreneur podcast. My name is Lydia Sophia Wilmsen and I am an intuitive success mentor for sensitive entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I speak about the challenges sensitive and intuitive entrepreneurs face. I offer you new perspectives and solutions, as well as experiences of other entrepreneurs. Plus, I speak about my personal experience of being a highly sensitive person who has successfully built and scaled 2 businesses. All of that with the goal to make you and your business even more successful in your very unique and authentic way. Have fun and enjoy. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Lydia.
And I would love to start a little bit with that you tell us about yourself and how you started with your business, and especially your very niche and very specific business idea.
Where to start? I am really passionate about remote work, and this is also the topic which my business is all about regarding individuals and also companies. I started working remotely 7 years ago in 2013. I was working remotely as an employee for my boss, and I asked him if it was possible to work remotely first for 1 week a month, and then I changed also to work remotely from the whole world. So I worked from Thailand, Africa, Spain in winter times, and I enjoyed it. And after a few years, my boss founded a new startup, and he asked me if I wanted to lead the whole agency, and I was really into gaining leadership experience. But it was not fair to be I was the only employee for 2.5 years. I was the only employee in our agency who worked remotely, and all the others were in the office from Monday to Friday. So when I became the leader of the company, I decided, okay, all the others have to be allowed to work remotely as well, because it wouldn't be fair when I am around the globe all the time and they have to sit in the office. And my boss allowed me to transform, so to say, our company from a location-based team to a partly location-independent team. So we still were in the office 2 days a week, and 3 days a week we were in the home office. And from time to time, people could also work from another country or another city. I was there for 2.5 years, and afterwards I founded my own company, Get Remote, and now I help. For 2 years now, I help companies how to integrate and how to do the same, which I did, to implement remote work in a company, culture-wise and structure-wise. And I also help individuals how to get a remote job or how to persuade your boss to let you work remotely. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm only in this remote work business. I'm not. There are several companies who do this transformation work and change work. And yes, I do change, but only regarding the remote work scenario. And so it's a really a tiny niche. I thought it was a tiny niche for 4 months ago. It still was a tiny niche, but now it's not anymore due to the Corona crisis. It's the big thing. And right now it's perfect for me that I decided to have this niche business because right now people book me because of that, because I only do remote work change and they need it right now. Yeah.
It's super interesting, I think, because so many people fear niching down because they think they lose everything, like they lose so many customers. And you are the perfect example. Like, of course, we couldn't have known that there is a COVID crisis and so on. And still, it can happen in many different ways. But it shows there is so much business out there and they book you because of that. And because you are not like a little bit bigger, taking the whole change process or doing the whole change process, but just like this very specific one. So was there fear around that being so specific for you in the beginning, or was it, that's it, done?
I was not really, I never had the problem with niching and finding the right position. I know that many entrepreneurs have this kind of trouble with knowing what their niche is and what their position is. It positioning in English?
Positioning, yeah.
Positionierung, yeah. I never had that because I did not become an entrepreneur because I wanted to become an entrepreneur, but because I wanted my topic, my remote work topic, to to let companies know that it works. So I came from this niche topic to being an entrepreneur, and many people think, okay, I don't want to work for a boss. I want to become an entrepreneur. What can I do? And I had the topic, and from this topic out, I became an entrepreneur. So it was kind of already set that it's gonna be this niche and only this niche.
And I love that because just the recent interview I did, it was similar. It was also about like this person, Steve, he basically said like many entrepreneurs, they don't happen to be entrepreneurs and then figure out what they want to sell or what their service is, but they stumble into that. Like they have this passion for something, they have a product or like you have a service, service product, whatever. And this is what you're so passionate about. And then you figure out, actually, I do have to bring this to the next level. Like I have to bring this to the world. And then you figure out all the entrepreneurship stuff around instead of, I just don't want to work for a boss. So what to do now? And I think because you mentioned the work with individuals, this is probably also where you can help people a lot because not everyone has to become an entrepreneur. Like you can actually enjoy freedom and still have safety from a job, right?
Definitely. That's also the thing why I turned out to be a remote coach for individuals, because I was in this digital nomad scene for several years. And everybody was clapping when they said, yeah, you have to quit your job. And yes, quitting our jobs. And I was like, yeah, I want to have this freedom and I want to be able to travel. But no, I don't want to quit my job. I love my job. I also love the surrounding with it so that I get my regular money in my bank, and I don't have to think about all the accounting and getting new customers and stuff. So 6 years ago, I did not know what to found. So I was like, okay, it's not. I don't want to have to choose between safety and freedom. I want to have freedom, but I also want to have my safety. And I don't think that everybody is made to be an entrepreneur, and you don't have to be made to be an entrepreneur, but everybody is allowed to want to gain flexibility and freedom. And I think many people start into being an entrepreneur only because they want to be free, and that's not the best way around, because then I think you have to you will struggle a lot, and some people need this this struggle to keep on going. But there are many people coming to me who are self-employed already or who are freelancers already, and they say, Teresa, when you are able to get me to get me a job where I can be employed and also have kind of a freedom, I will go back right away. Yeah. So I think it's sometimes you think it's the easiest way to quit your job and to get self-employed, but it's not all the time. So just have a deeper look. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to be an entrepreneur because you like being an entrepreneur and all the stuff, and figuring out how to found a company? And do you have a topic which you are passionate about? But there are this virtual assistant business. I see so many virtual assistants. I want to be free. Well, what can I do? I'm going to be a virtual assistant, and then they struggle because there are so many people with when you live in Thailand or somewhere, you don't have to earn that much money, and so the prices are really low sometimes. So having a deeper look why you want to be an entrepreneur is the first step, I think.
And I wanted to also say, or go back to this that you said it came from passion. And I think this was key as well. And how I know you, like you have a lot of passion per se, and also like a lot of pleasure and passion in your life and in your business. And just because this is a topic right now I'm writing a lot about, because so many entrepreneurs, they are deeply frustrated, nothing is working, and they are stressed out, and they do a lot of stuff which doesn't light them up. And I think you're in a good example. Just told me that you stopped a contract or work with someone or with companies because it took your energy. So tell us a little bit more about how to include passion and pleasure as much as you do in business, and how you do it basically.
Yes, I think it's always good to think about your energy level, right? And it's not only about making money, but also to have fun while making money. I do have right now basically my whole focus is on B2B, so I mostly only do company consulting because this is the topic right now.
Yeah, of course.
I'm facing some troubles with my time, so I'm not able to do individuals coaching right now. And I take a deeper look every time I onboard a new client. Will I have fun with it? Will I get energy out of it? Because just yesterday I had a workshop, and after this workshop I was full of energy because I could do the thing I love and I could empower the employees of this company. And with this client, I did not feel this energy level, but I was it was drawn out of me. So I always have a deeper look at my energy level, and also I kind of see right now I can be fully booked right now, and now I have to think about what does fully booked mean for me, and it's really I'm finding it out right now because would be possible to just have basically every day a workshop, but you also have to do accounting and also marketing and all that stuff. And I'm thinking about how much workshops do I want to have per week. So I can earn a lot of money right now, but then I will burn out, and it's not the thing I want to do. So stepping back for a half a year ago, the topic was about how to get fully booked or how to get more clients and more money in. And right now it's okay, clients are here, clients are in a row, so to say. And now to see, okay, how can I have a balance in earning good money, right? But also have free time for me, for my friends, for my family. You also recognized I didn't answer messages for 2 or 3 weeks because I was kind of overwhelmed with the situation right now. And I was like, okay, right now I have to focus on my clients and how to get my shit done here. I just don't answer messages from people for 2 or 3 weeks, and WhatsApp and Instagram and also Facebook messages. I just didn't answer them for 2 or 3 weeks because it was good for me. It was not really polite for other people who didn't get an answer from me, but I knew, okay, right now I have to deeply focus how to structure all this stuff, and I have to, get like an energy thing around me, and afterwards I am able to answer all the messages. So yes, have a deeper look in what serves you and what just takes your energy away.
And being really honest with that and saying, okay, this takes my energy and I don't keep it for the sake of money. And rather, I think a good entrepreneurial mindset would be, and I think you are doing that right now, how can I outsource that? Like, how can I multiply my own time through getting like people on board who help me with that? So the not entrepreneurial mindset, I think, would be keep on working, do more, be burned out, break down. And the other view is, okay, take a step back, as you just said, and see from that place of not overwhelm what inspired ideas come, how can you change that?
Yeah, that's also a thing right now, because as you know, I did my morning routine like 2 or 3 hours a day for myself when I struggled last year. And right now I see, okay, I don't have 2 or 3 hours a day just to start for myself. But I now see, okay, I have to get several time frames really to do this inner work steadily. Because yes, right now I have this flow because it's always like this bridging period. But when you stop doing the inner work and only hustling, there is also a bridging period, and you will see perhaps in 6 or 8 weeks that you didn't do it 6 or 8 weeks ago. So I now have to say, okay, not only working, but also this taking time for me is really important. So right now I'm into finding the best balance of work, me time, friends, marketing. Also, this thinking about how many people do I have to onboard. I have an intern right now who helps me a lot, and I'm giving over all the messages because I'm getting so many messages over LinkedIn, and I'm not able to reach out to everybody. So yes, I have to find a way how to multiply myself without multiplying my working hours.
Yeah. That's so important. And oh my goodness, you said so many things where I want to like go deeper or go further. I think one thing is, because I wanted to say that before already, because I know you and you're an empath, like you have like high empathy for people. And this has also been like a struggle for you, or like an issue, you know, taking care of everyone. And this is why I especially love it so much that you said, I just blocked out messages from like friends even for 2 weeks. I didn't answer. And of course, perhaps they were like kind of, what's happening or something. But you put yourself first. So I really love that, because it has not always been the case. And I would love to hear a little bit more from that empath struggle of, I have to be there for everyone, whether it's good for me or not, and like how you shifted that, or how you see that nowadays, what being there for other people can mean, and how you created boundaries for yourself, basically.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting thing, because I last year I had this tipping point where I saw, okay, sometimes it's not doing helping is not really helping, but because I'm a really action person, so when I see there is someone struggling, there is like a little lamp, and like, oh yeah, Teresa, you have to do something. For many years, this was my strategy. When I saw someone struggling, I had to help. Not everybody, but in friends and family zone. I did not recognize that I basically was not helping, but helping to stabilize the problem, I think. Last year I really had this tipping point with seeing, okay, sometimes not doing is doing enough. So or it would be the right thing to do. I think this year is such a crazy time. And I also think some topics pop up again to let you know, did you really have a look there? It's popping up again. I thought it was solved, but it's perhaps not solved for the entire lifetime. So, yes. And I can see that it's really deep inside of me. When this comes up again, I really feel it in my body that I have to do something. And it's really sometimes a little bit frustrating that you have to do it again and again and again. Yes, but it helps me to know that it already worked, to step back. But it's work for me to step back. It's not work. The doing part is not a work for me. Not doing something is work for me. Yeah, that's something I see the last few weeks again, and I think I'm already better in it. But it's tough again. So it's really, you get the things over and over again, and the universe is testing you. Like, did you really solve this same thing? Yes, but. Just like you said, how do you do it? It's just reminding myself, every time that not doing is the right thing to do, and to have a look, which patterns do I have, to have a deeper look, which things would I normally have done, and what would I like to do right now, and can I just not do this next step? Also to see it in front and just then step back and say, no, you don't do this right now. And instead doing something else, and something else means something for myself. What what can make me feel good right now. And I know that doing something for somebody else would make me feel good, but it doesn't help them. It only helps me in this moment. So it's more ego driven than you think, helping others. I recognize that because, yeah, I'm feeling better when I know, okay, I'm in action and I'm in charge. It's kind of,
It's kind of control as well.
it gives me, yes, yeah.
Oh, I love that you said that because, we do. I made an episode about people pleasing, and we do think being nice to everyone is the nice thing to do. And actually, it is more ego driven because we don't have to face our fears. We then don't have to show up as we are because we just hide parts of ourselves, And so I love that. And also I love that you said, okay, what to do instead? Like your normal way of being or way of doing would be to directly help someone go the next step. And now it takes work, but you draw back, you don't go that next step, and rather ask yourself, like, what would be good for me right now? Like, really, not only give me this ego feeling of, oh, wow, I helped that person, but rather, like a nice walk outside or whatever it is, spending time with your boyfriend.
Yeah, funny thing. I'm running again. I'm not the sports type, but every time I have this issue, I have to. It's like in German it would be Blitzableiter. You have to do something else to this action I would normally take. I have to do action wise in another part. Or when you stop smoking, I think you also, some people then start to eat more. So when I'm not able to, I'm not allowed to do anything to help. So I have to go running.
Do something more other thing, like action oriented thing. Yeah. And that's actually really good for you. And it's also kind of work. So it's not, oh, I'm just lying around and think. I think it's good as well because you can stop thinking a little bit, because first it's like, it's body work. So it takes your focus away a little bit. Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting that it helps really fast.
Yeah.
It was like a few days I thought, like, okay, I really have to do something. And I was like, no, you don't. And last year it took more time. And I think right now it's getting faster. When you tap into your old routine, it can be really fast that it's going worse. But when you tap into the new routine, even when you feel like you are not allowed to, or you have to do something, when you tap in this new routine, it's getting better faster.
Yeah. No, I would say so. So you said it also like, oh, it's work again, to detach from people and not be there and like taking a different route and so on. Yeah. And still, I do think like I have experienced that for myself, that things happen quicker. Like I get out of a funk quicker or whatever. It's not the same at all. Like if something happened years ago, I remember like several years ago, I had like a depression for 3 months or something. And of course I still have days where I feel like, ooh, but this is a day, or not even a day, it might be an hour or something, So I think the time accelerates in a way that it is, perhaps with the routine as well, you just do it. Not now for 6 months, and I would love to. That would be my next question for you. That you did the morning routine like very extensively, as you said, for 2 hours a day, and like to change yourself, and then you had results. And now it can be that you just do like a morning routine and include the running again, and it's just like 10 minutes a day or something, and has the same results. So I really want to point that out, because many people think, oh, I have to do that forever now and blah, blah, blah. No, you just have to start with the new neural pathways and then it will get quicker.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Last year, it was really the right thing for 2 months because I didn't have that much client in this time. So I had the time, but it would not be the right way to think you have to do 2 or 3 hours for the next 10 years to keep your business running, because it's just this bridging period. And then, a little part of it is enough, I think. Yes.
Perhaps explain a little bit the bridging period, because I think I mentioned it sometimes, but from your view, and perhaps because the next question would be, you have been through crisis, personal and business-wise, and I named the interview How to Grow Your Business When Facing Crisis, and it also obviously fits the current topic right now. But tell us a little bit more about those crisis situation and how you changed that for yourself.
Yeah. What do I mean with I know the bridging period thing from you, because I did not know it before. In my own words, I would say when you want to have a new result, you do have some kind of habits which lead to the current result. Yeah. When you want to have a new result, you have to implement new habits, but you won't get the new result right away. And there is some kind of impatience inside me and inside of many people, I think. And you have to overcome this impatience. You have to be patient. And the bridging period means, okay, you trust first. So you trust that the result is coming even when you cannot see it and hear it and touch it. But when you're not able to trust that it will come, it won't come. So it's really a weird thing, because every time you basically need something, you really need something to feel good or to feel better, or every time you really need it, you won't get it. So that's kind of a hard thing, but I learned that it works like that. And every time like last year, I spent a lot of money, and I thought, okay, in my old strategically thinking, when I do A, I get to B. And it was not like that. I spent the money, but I did not get B right away. And I was really frustrated. And I was like, okay, I have to earn money right now. And I have to get money to feel secure, to feel safe. And as long as I needed the money to feel safe, it would just not come. So the first thing is, you feel secure, you feel safe, you have the feeling you want to gain with something, you stick it to the outcome. It won't come. You just first have to feel secure, happy, whatever. Your result is giving you an energy, and your work is just to feel it and trust it before you see it, and then it will come much faster. And I also had this topic with a friend of mine yesterday regarding another thing, not business-wise, but personally wise. And I think it's really the thing. Every time you think you need something, you really need it to get some kind of a feeling, some kind of a good feeling, you won't get it. So your job first is to get the feeling, and then the result will come. And this is the bridging period. You have to be patient for some time. And the impatience, I think it kills so many things. And yeah, so bridging period means just the time frame between you really trusting, and then it comes. And when you are impatient in between, you will step back from the result. Yeah.
Because you are an action-driven person, how did you manage to really, like, when you were facing those business struggles, personal struggles, how did you do that? Like, how could you step into trust? Because this is what all the audience, everyone has an issue with that.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I know that what I thought back then. I was like, how can I trust when it's just nothing is there? But this is really the issue. And then as you said, I am an action-driven person. And that was a good thing, because I just had nothing else. I had nothing to rely on but to say, this inner work, this morning routine is my to-do, because I don't know what to do, what gives me the result. So it was not really trusting, I think, but it was more doing the action. Action was the inner work, was my action at that point.
Yeah, I love that. I think that will help many people.
Yeah. So when you basically don't know what to do right now, make the inner work your doing part. Even when you think inner work and running, journaling, visualizing is not doing something, it is doing. And that helped me a lot. So for 2 or 3 months, my only doing was the inner work. And then from the inner work, I asked myself, what is the right thing to do right now? And then little things came up. And right now, LinkedIn is my number one business tool. And this came up in this time. I had a LinkedIn profile, but I did not do it. And in this time, at some point, it came up, you do videos on LinkedIn right now. And I was like, oh no, I did Instagram videos before. So I forced myself to do Instagram stories to gain more video experience. And then in this inner work meditation part, there was LinkedIn videos. And no, you won't ever do LinkedIn videos. It is a business. On Instagram, like 15 seconds is okay, but on LinkedIn. And then I was, okay, it came up in this inner meditation thing. And you do this right now. So step by step, I was just led from my guidance system led me to the next points. And when I look back right now, I would not have been able to plan it with my head, the steps. Also this year, all the steps. I got a new website. Then I did press work. I wanted to be in all the big newspapers in Germany till the end of the year. And I started doing an online course for press work in January. And I did not know that the Corona crisis would come in end of February. And I knew how to reach out to journalists. And in March, I was in all the big German newspapers you can think about. And when I would not have taken part in this online course in January, but it was not in my head. I didn't structure it. You can only see it backwards, I want to say.
Yeah. Totally get that. Like you wouldn't know what would happen and that you would have to take the online course first to know what you're doing and so on.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a beautiful example. And we spoke before that about your new flat and everything, because this is also, it's like basically you're the manifestation queen without even wanting to be that, basically. So tell us more about that.
Yes, I really think I'm getting better in manifesting. And so to let your podcast, not viewers but hearers, know, I'm really a logical driven person. And when I got into the business, I thought I had to get a business coach for strategy. And then I came over you, Lydia, and you told, strategy, yes, but also mindset part. And 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, mindset, no. I can do mindset in a few years, but not right now. Right now, I need strategy. But then I started working with you, and I never heard about manifesting or something before. And I learned quick, so to say. And this flat right now, I have a new flat in Berlin for 2 months right now. It was my biggest manifesting part, I think, because I didn't even really look for a flat. It just, I saw it online. And the next day I wanted to reach out to the Vermieter, to the owner. And but I wasn't fast enough, and I slept one night, and in the morning I wanted to call the owner, and then the ad was gone. It was not there anymore, and you were not able to write him or to call him, and I did not have the email or something. So I only knew it was not far away from my old flat. I only knew the street and the number, and then I was like, it's gone, but I won't give up right now. And then it was Sunday. I wrote a little letter like, dear owner, I saw this flat in the fourth, so it's upstairs in the last section with a rooftop. And I always wanted to have a flat with a rooftop in Berlin. And then I wrote a little letter and put my phone number there. And they called me and said, wow, your letter was so cute, but we already have a new owner, not a new owner, but a new renter, and it's gone. But we wanted to call you because your little message was so nice. And and then I was like, okay, should not be. And in this moment, I really thought, okay, when I really should get this flat, I will get it and just let it pass away. And after 5 weeks, I did not even think about it anymore. After 5 weeks, somebody called me and was like, well, the people who wanted to rent the flat, they cannot rent it anymore because I don't know why. And are you still interested? Because your message was so nice. We found it on the door, and we thought before giving it in online again, we wanted to ask you if you want to have it. So I did not have anybody else who wanted to have the flat because they only got no competition. And when you get a flat in Berlin with no competition, it's like hilarious, right? Yeah. And right now I'm sitting in this flat, and it was really also this detachment part. I did action. You have to do action, right? I could have said, oh, the ad is not online anymore, so the flat is gone. Oh, what a pity. But I did not do this. So I did all I could. So I went there. I had this little message there. And then I said, it's gone. And I was not feeling super sad. I was like, okay, then it should not be. So another fine flat is waiting for me. And I detached right away. And with this detachment, after 6 weeks, it just came to me. I did not have to do anything. Just with chilling and relaxing, it was like the universe said, okay, Teresa, you should get this flat. Here you have it.
You were patient enough to wait. Here it is. You did all the work. There you go.
Yeah. So this is really the most powerful example with this flat. And every day I'm walking through the flat and getting out on my rooftop. It's like, yes, you really deserved it somehow.
Oh, I love that, Teresa. And I can obviously see parts. I see the piano, which is lovely. Everything. Yeah. So some more questions I do have, because I wanted to get a little bit of your expertise on leadership, because obviously I work with entrepreneurs, and some of them have teams, some of them don't have teams, and then you have to lead yourself. Can you give us like any insights into what good leadership is, what it is not, perhaps some challenges your clients face when it comes to leadership? That would be lovely.
Yeah, it's a really interesting question because with the remote work, leadership becomes a total new picture because many leaders have the fear when they don't see their employees that they don't work. So it's also about trusting, right? And when I am inside companies and I do leadership workshops really only for the leaders, and also do team workshops with the leaders and their teams. And it's interesting because leaders always think they have to have a good strategy or to get new ways of leading. And the way to be the best remote leader, I think, is to be empathic and to not to have strategies, but really just to hear out your employees. When there is this change from a location-based team to a location-independent team, there is always struggle. There is always fears and obstacles. And many leaders think, okay, just don't talk about the fears, don't talk about the obstacles, because we want to empower people, and this remote thing it will work really well. Of course it will work well. And many companies and leaders fear to talk about fears, right? But they are there. Every time when you have a change, people are used to work in the office, they are used to something, and when there is a change, it's the most important part for leaders is to talk with a team about the obstacles and the fears who are there. Because it's like this elephant which is in the room, and nobody wants to talk about it, but it is still there. Yes,
it's there.
So the best thing is really to take this elephant right in front of you and to talk about it, and to see what is inside this elephant. So what are all the fears? So you, as a leader, you always have doubters in your team, and you always have people who are fans of remote work. And not only regarding remote work, but regarding every change. You have doubters and you have fans. And you as a leader, it's the most important thing to know the amount of people who are doubters and the amount of people who are fans, and bring it together. So this is the most important part I do. It's not about setting up rules. The rules are the results. But first, you have really to get to know the fears, and you have to get to know the vision. What is it like when it works perfectly? But where can it also be broken, the change? And many people, they hop right into creating guidelines. And that's not the right thing, because when you want to create guidelines, you first have to know the fears and the vision, and then out from that, you can create guidelines. So it's an individual thing. Companies always come to me and say, well, Teresa, can you give us a PDF with the 10 remote working rules? And yes, it just does not work like that, because you cannot have the 10 rules for a leader. But leading is about knowing your people. It's a people thing. It's not a strategy thing. So when you have a look at your team, you have to get to know how what kind of people are there. And this is the most important part. And then you can add some structure thing and some rules, but getting to know the people and their fears and also their visions. And then you can be a really great leader, because it's always about the thing behind it. Also with the remote work, why do people want to work remotely? What is the end result? It's not about working remotely. It's about what is remote work letting you do with your life. So, and this is the part you have to know as a leader. You have to know, why do they want to work remotely? What does it give them? Is it a partner in another city? Is it a ill person in the family who they can care about? And when you know these things, you can be a really great leader.
Yeah, I love that. It's about people. I hear this so often, yeah. And people always want the 7 steps or the 10 points or whatever and think that's it. And that's not the real work that has to happen. And how would you obviously, you said there are the doubters, and there probably are also challenging leaders. Like, what do you do with them? Because it's lovely if you just talk and explain to them, like, let's work on fears, let's work on vision, bring it all together. But this happens inside of us as well. We sometimes have a really loud voice that is just against everything, like resistance. Like, how do you deal? Perhaps it doesn't happen. I don't know. That you have resistant leaders, resistant team members.
Definitely, I do have resistant leaders and team members, but that is my workshops, which I do with the companies. It's mostly about opening this room to address the fears and to address the doubts. And when there is sometimes it's really getting not hot. It's a bisschen hitzig auf Deutsch. It's getting a little bit.
It's a little bit like. Yeah, hot or high discussion,
yes.
Like loud, whatever. Yeah.
So I am forcing people to say out loud what they think is crap right now. Mm-hmm. So, and that's my thing I'm having this moderation part as well. So because when you as a leader, it's really hard for a leader to have this coaching role. So when you as a leader ask your team members, what do you think is crap right now? They won't answer you because they think, okay, I cannot say this to my boss because
he's going to fire me.
Yes. And then you have this chit chat when you are out of the room. So you as a leader, some leaders are able to do this with their team, but you have, I think it's the lowest part of the leaders. So this is the part where they get me in. So I'm like a moderator of this part, and I have different phases where people and the interesting thing is the doubters, when they were able to address their fears and their obstacles and the challenges, it just gets lower. When it's spoken out, it's
You mean the doubt goes down, the
yes,
resistance goes down
yes,
when they
the
are
resistance
allowed to
goes down.
speak.
Yes,
Wow, love that.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's not about in one workshop you cannot do you cannot fade away all the obstacles, but you can list them and you can say, okay, we have to find a solution for that. And sometimes and with bringing together the doubters and the fans, there is one part where we get up all the doubts, and then the next step we get up the vision. So in the first part, the doubters are taken seriously and they feel taken seriously. And the fans, they see, okay, why are the other employees against this change? And they can understand, okay, they have a reason behind that. And in the second phase, when you get to the vision point, the doubters are more likely to also see positive points when they were able to address the negative points in front. They won't be able to see any positive thing when they were not allowed to address the negative ones before. It's just a little basic thing. And then in the phase where then the doubters can see, okay, why are the fans of remote work? What is behind their fan thing? So why do they think it's good? And then it's like, okay, we can understand each other. And this understanding is the most important part to go the next step. You cannot take the next step when there is this elephant in the room.
Yeah, that elephant takes up a lot of space. No one wants to move the elephant.
Yes.
And work with it.
Yes.
I love that. And I think there is like basic, you can translate that, yeah, for whoever like is having a team. You don't have to manage big companies. Like leadership starts with yourself. And obviously if you just have freelancers or something, to address, what I take away is like to address the fears, to take a look at the vision. And also I think for yourself, this is what some people get wrong when they think we just have to do positive belief work. And they forget that they have to address the fears first, and see and let them speak, let them speak and let those voices out there who are like resistant, who have an issue. And yeah, usually once they are heard, they get more silent or they are not as loud anymore.
Yeah, that's really, I think you can do this with your own, even when you don't have a team.
Yeah, with your inner team.
Yes, with your inner team. You have some doubters. What do the doubters say? Okay, doubters speak now. And then now fans. What do you think? Yeah, I think that could be awesome.
Perhaps you should create a little business model around that, Teresa. Let's create a new business, a new company. Oh, I loved that. I loved everything you said. I think we could talk for several more hours. However, we have almost reached our time. So I would love just like any last tips and thoughts you want to share with the audience. That would be lovely.
Yes. What we already said, care about how you feel first. Don't take action when you don't feel good, when you're in the doubting zone. First, take the time for you and yourself and have a deeper look. What makes you feel good now? So often we think, okay, we have to get this result in our business and then I will feel good. Or you can change good in proud or what else. So be aware that you have the power to feel good in every moment, because in every moment you can step back and can think about, am I doing this out of doubt and fear right now? Then you should step back and get into a good mood first and then take action. This was the game changer for myself. Because as an entrepreneur, you always have a huge to-do list, and the to-do list won't get lower.
Any smaller.
Yes, it won't get any smaller. And don't hop on the doing part when you did not feel good before. And it can be 10 minutes or it can also take 2 hours. But it's all about your energy first and then taking action. And then the action will have a much higher result.
Yeah.
So taking action with low energy won't create good results. So even when you do 8 hours of action in a bad mood, you will have less results than having 7.5 hours for yourself in feeling good and then doing half an hour. The half an hour can create much bigger results than the 8 hours. And the difference is only the energy level. And I know that when somebody would have said that 3 or 4 years ago to me, I would say, yeah, of course. But I just recognize that it works like that. And from getting results out of that, I trust this process. And it's worked for me again and again overall. So it sounds easy, but it still is work. But this is the one promise I can make. When you feel good and take action, it will create more results.
I love that, Teresa. That's a lovely last word. And I think I do totally share that with you. And I hope the audience hears that now from a different person as well and says like, wow, now we have heard it from two people. So then there needs to be something in that. Thank you so much for your time. I will obviously put your links into the show notes. So if someone is either looking for remote employees because you have a database in Germany for that, or if you're looking to actually not become an entrepreneur and be employed, but location free, or if you're a company and you need support to create remote work, then you'll have Teresa. She has like 100% of my trust. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for inviting. It was really lovely to speak to you again.